All is One Reflections, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Do y'all hear echo? Please, someone get in the chat and let me know, please. And I've been muted this whole time. Wow. Just wow. All right. I am Priestess Olaia Ifashabi. And we are here for Siren's Lounge. And Siren's Lounge is a space for us to have topics and discussions that are not meant for children's ears and that really are going to touch on some of the more taboo topics and really just kind of get to the bottom of it. And this space is open for everyone to comment. I welcome folks to bring everything in. All is one, Egg Bay. Their thoughts and opinions on these topics. Today's topic is that WAP versus that D. Who has more power? That's what I was saying. Let's start there. Essentially, we want to gain an understanding of the power, the essence, the balance of the divine feminine and the divine masculine, because as a human, you carry both of these energies within you. And as individuals, it's up to you to define what you carry more of and how you carry yourself and present. And there's a lot of things going on in our world right now. There's a lot of controversy. And we just want to get to the bottom of it. Let's talk about it. how can we really come to an understanding as the divine feminine and the divine masculine as Black folks in this country? Like, we need to come to an understanding, right? But first we need to understand the difference between the two. So talk to me in the chat. Who has more power, that WAP or that D? Okay. Ocean Tara says pussy power all day. Okay. Cheers to that. I'm going to drink to that one. All is one reflections. Ia, thank you for joining. Oh my goodness. Oh, Priestess Anati, my apologies. I didn't even recognize that I was muted. So Ocean Tara says pussy power all day. Who, I'm pretty sure that everybody on this call right now is going to be agreeing with that. But I'm interested if there's any altering opinions. If there's any facts that we want to bring to the table or occurrences, let's talk about it. I, for one, I carry myself more yin than yang. I'm going to take one from Eckhart Tolle. He literally admits to carrying more yin within himself and presenting more soft than more masculine. All is one, Egbe. And I for sure am a siren. And I for sure am living in my divine feminine. And there's a fine line for me when knowing when I'm in my divine feminine and when I'm in my masculine. It's, we're currently in retrograde right now. So there's a lot of communication things that are being noticed and taken note of. And I have really been in my masculine this week. I have had to be a disciplinary. I am outside of being a priestess. I run a nonprofit, and being in a leadership role traditionally carries masculine energy. But here I am in my feminine because balance is lovely. Okay, so Bulma, my egg bay, thank you. Definitely been stigmatized before. That for sure is a real thing. We can't deny that, especially if you find someone who really knows how to work it. For sure. For sure. Okay. And Oya Pet too. Under a spell. Yeah. Yeah. All things are true. And all things can exist with balance. You can definitely be stigmatized and still be in control. I fully believe that. Yes, I agree with this. I agree with this very much. If there's some good monetary providing, then the D gets the power for that. I mean, and all things in balance and all things in moderation, right? Like, I definitely feel like a lot of times what we're not paying attention to is that we're like drastically out of balance as a people. And so there are some expectations and there are some unspoken expectations that sometimes blur the lines. But if the D is definitely providing and doing all the things that need to be done, then there's definitely power in that. I'm looking at this chat because, yes. So, what about? So, I'm seeing a lot of being stigmatized, being under a spell. Let's hear from the ladies. Has anyone ever put a man under a spell? What was that like? I have a priestess sister who calls me the pussy priestess. And she calls me this for a reason. Okay, yes. 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 For some. Okay, Oya Petu said it's been a problem for the longest. Especially can be a problem with good sense when we're speaking on good sense specifically. When that root chakra gets knocked and all sense goes out the window, that's when you see ladies throwing bricks and, doing the most. They're not balanced. And also, there are other things that can occur because we know the divine masculine also is tapped in. So they also do sex magic. They also do things unknowingly sometimes, and most of the time knowingly. Okay, let's talk about this. Dating toxic men when you got that good is a mess. Yes, definitely. It certainly is. I've been stalked before in another life. I was a very outwardly person and not in full know of my power and literally have been stalked. I had to stop working for a little bit because a boy was going to my job and waiting for me to show up and going to all the places that he thought I would be. I was 21. It was very scary. It's very scary. But it definitely is a thing because your walls could be intact and you could do some things to some people. Ocean Tara says it gets dangerous, baby. Got to do that protection work when you putting it on them. You for sure do need to do protection work. You for sure do. Exchanging energies with the opposite sex doesn't have to be complicated, but in some cases it can be. And I agree. Definitely doing protection work is certainly is due. And a lot of people don't know the different ways to do protection work. And I might just suggest something as simple as a bath before you engage with some intention in that bath. I'm not going to suggest any specific herbs or anything. There's a couple. I did a Pussy Power series, and you can get the Pussy Power series and get the recipe for that. But there are different things that you can do spiritually to protect yourself and to guard yourself. Like knowing thyself is one thing that you can do. Just know yourself. Know the power that you possess. And if you are feeling, excuse me, if you're feeling like you might have something special about yourself, nine times out of 10, you do. And you just need to explore that a little bit. But if you are not someone who really is out here just slanging pussy and you're picky and choosy and every person that you choose is addicted or hanging out of windows and doing weird things, being a creeper, tap into that energy a little bit more and gain some more control. I'm not on here to talk about my personal escapades. We are here to have discussions. But I'm going to tell you what, I have had some experiences where I just, nope, sorry, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. And for the longest time, I was the person that was, nope, ain't no man hit the bottom of this pussy. And that was a true fact for me because pussy control has always been a real thing for me. I'm a woman who has endometriosis. So you really need to know my body to really get to where you're trying to get to. And if you don't, you're not getting there and you're getting bucked off. So that's a real thing for me. She slips and she grips is a real sentiment, especially when you're picky and choosy. You do yoni steams, take baths regularly, and don't fuck every Tom, Dick, and Harry. She slips and she grips. That's real. Yes, and don't forget about the yoni eggs. The yoni eggs can do damage. You really have to be careful with yoni eggs. That's a real thing, energetically and physically, because they're made of natural crystals that carry energy, and we're made up of energy. So there's that. I'm gonna drink to the energy. Mm-hmm. Anyone else have any stories? Someone share with me a story about being dickmatized. Like, what did he do to really just dick you down and make you throw all sense out the window? Talk to me in the chat. What did he do? What was he working with? Let's start there. What was he working with? Was it his mouth action or was he packing? Like, what was it? How did he dickmatize you? Did he sweet talk you, take you on dates? What was it? Was he rough and stuff? What was it? Was he a thug? You know, I loves me a good thug. Love a good old thug. What was it? Talk to me in the chat. Tell me. Tell me the juicy secrets. What did he do? Egg Bay. Honey. I've been probably dickmatized twice, literally twice in my life. And no, I'm with one of them now. They exist though. But I know, I feel like it's a mental thing. It starts with a mental thing for me. Obviously, appearance matters, right? Like, are we attracted to one another? Are our energies talking to one another before we actually engage? And then from there, is it mental? In some cases, I feel like it can be very mental. Like, what is the mental connection? If you can't connect with me mentally, you damn sure ain't making my my honey pot moist. I'm sorry. My egg bake calls it the crazy button, and it usually involves a combination of words and a slow stroke. Mm-hmm. A slow stroke with that whisper in the ear. Mm-hmm. Those sweet nothings in between strokes. Yep, I'm feeling that for sure. Okay, Miss Stephanie Taylor. No, never been dickmatized? Okay. Well, we know that you're pretty powerful, so that's not surprising, Scorpio. Let's see. Ocean Tara. Gotta have that swag. Gotta have that high vibrational positive energy. I'm all about the foreplay and the buildup. Yes, the buildup. It's the buildup for me. It definitely is the buildup for me. And there's a little secret. I'll share a secret with y'all because I know nobody's gonna really do anything. If a man approaches me and he's like dark skinned or tall and has locks, like some locks longer than mine, even, and he attempts to kiss this dimple, oh baby, I'm melting. I am melting. This is a whole activation button right here. So the happy buttons can be plenty. Yes. I feel this 100%. If you cannot mentally stimulate me, you're not stimulating anything else. I'm sorry. Like, we have to be able to hold a conversation about more than just, did you roll that blunt? What kind of weed is that? There's more to it. Way more to it, like literally. So I feel you on that. Drier than the Sahara, and the Sahara Desert is dry as fuck. Have y'all ever been there? I've been there. I have meditated on a sand dune. It's dry as fuck, and you don't want that sand in the unmentionable spaces. Okay, dry, just dry. Literally, before penetrating my body, my mind must be in the fifth dimension. You have to take me somewhere in my dreams, literally, without you doing it. Your energy needs to speak to my energy, and I need to feel that energetically. Energetically, I need to be spoken to. Listen, now this right here brings me to divine balance. This is my egg bay. So she can say all her good sense is gone, but we know better. We know better than that. But the power of the divine feminine and the divine masculine, when they come together, will give off the oppression of no sense. But baby, that is full of sense. And I know that for a fact. But that's the power of bringing divine feminine and masculine together, that mesh, that match, that communicates with one another, that is doing the work on their own and doing the work together. When those two things come together, you got yin and yang, for sure. For sure. What turns you on more? A stability king? Someone who is just like so stable, you're just like, yes, king. Yes, king. Or an action boss, somebody that is just active with it, action packed, gonna move and do the things and show you the things. What is it? What is it? Talk to me in the chat. Stability king, action boss. I want to know. I want to know a little bit. Myself, I like a well-rounded protector, but the stability gets me every time. I need someone that is stable and can contribute to my stability. I don't like being on shaky grounds. You ever crossed a bridge that you were unsure if you was gonna fall? I don't like that. It's like that. Dating somebody that's not stable. It's like walking across an unstable bridge, taking a chance with your life. You might fall to your death. I need to feel secure. I need to feel safe. I need to know that if I leap, you gonna leap higher. Right? Because as a divine feminine, we're natural nurturers. And nurturing comes with many, many levels. So we're going to do the things, handle the business, do the nurturing, kissing the boo-boos. And then at the end of the day, when all hell breaks loose, because we done leaped, we need y'all to leap higher. Leap a little bit higher than this. Okay. Let me see. Let me get to this chat really quick. So, Oya Petsu, yin and yang, a few lifetimes, and are finally getting it right in this one. And when you have soul ties that are like unbreakable and you do the work, you can get to this level of knowing the partner that you're with if you've been with them previously. I have a partner that, well, I have an ex-partner, I should say. I have an ex-partner who we meet in every lifetime. He didn't make the cut this time. And that's okay. Somebody else did. My egg bay, almost you late, stability, all day long. We can do the actions together, right? Steph, stability all day. Safe and secure. I like a man who is a little weird like me and a man with quiet strength. Okay, I feel that. I like someone that is going to take charge of the situation when it's needed. And I also really value balance. I've been in some very unbalanced situations. And so balance really is a high value to me. And so knowing our roles and defining those roles within our relationship, because the roles are not always going to be the same in every relationship, right? But defining those roles is important to me. Even when I have a woman in my life, we're defining those roles with each other, right? Me and my man, semi-traditional, I guess. There are certain things that I love about, the tradition of relationships and things like that in this country. And then there are other things that I'm just like, we can do this our way. It's my world. It's our world. We're making it happen, right? So there's a way to fluctuate some things, but there are some things that I definitely love that are traditional. My man now opens every door for me and looks at me crazy when I open my own door. That's one thing that a lot of women and femmes really don't want. They like that independence. They don't want no one catering to them in that way. But for me, in my current situation, he brings that level of respect and love to where I don't have to open my doors. He will do that for me. Go out places. Like there's a difference, right? So there's different levels that the stability of a man will bring. But a man who wants to be stable is going to show you that and bring that. Let me see. Yes, ma'am. My egg bae, not a submissive personality, but a whole different person when she's with her man. Why? The balance of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. It is possible. When my man comes home, he's going to get off work in a little bit, and then he's going to be home a little bit after that. And we have some activities planned. When he comes home, I'm giving him attention because he's been working. I've been working. He gives me attention. I give him attention. But it's different. The dynamics are different when the balance is there. And you're right. It doesn't even have to be sexual. I would say one non-sexual thing that me and my man do daily is give each other massages. Whether he's rubbing my back or my feet, or whether I'm rubbing his feet or his back or his shoulders or his neck, it's the same difference. Like, I ask for booty rubs, but I mean, ain't nobody keeping track, right? Like, as long as he's getting rubbed and I'm getting rubbed, that's one thing that we do for each other. But it's not even a sexual thing. It's a comforting thing. It's a relaxing thing. Like, I've had a rough day, been sitting at this computer all day. Can I get my booty rubbed, please? He does that for me. He's a chef. He be on his feet. I rub his feet. And this is probably the first man that I've ever been in a relationship with that is like, I'll rub you if you rub me. So thank you. Hi. Yes, I will take that. Balance all day. Activities planned. Let me see here. Ocean Tara. Yes, okay. Sagittarius. I love me a good Sagittarius. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm a Pisces for sure, right? But I really do love a good Sagittarius. There's something about a Sagittarius that just brings a certain something, right? So I agree. I agree with you 100%. What you need from your partner is what I get, what I have gotten from a Sagittarius. I'm currently with an Aries. And we bump heads because I was viewing my chart the other day and I realized I have a whole lot of fucking Aries in my chart. And my Aries is in my Venus. So there's that. There's that little thing that I'm tapping into right now. So, yes. The security, longevity, long run, big picture mind frame. Absolutely. I, however, am a colorful thinker. I'm a Pisces. So this black and white, yes, but also color. These are the things, but also this. Please. Okay. Leo Sagittarius. I see why your hair, you've been lying in that hair, Egg Bay. I'm loving the lioness hair. Loving it. Literally. Babe, can I get my booty rub, please? Mm-hmm. I like to ask him while he's playing the game. No harm, no foul. He'll sometimes be relaxing, playing the game, and I'll be done doing whatever. Because I do so many things. I'll finally be done. Honey, can I get my booty rub? Please. It's nice. My ex-husband, when I was married in Once Upon a Time, and I was working at this physician's answering place. So I would answer phones, and I would walk through the door when I would come home, just tired from being on the phone and all this. And I would walk through the door, and he'd be waiting for me on the other side of the door. And he would greet me. He'd be like, "How was your day?" And I'd be like, "Oh, my day was good. It was okay." He'd be like, "No, I'm talking to that ass." And he would like bend down and start having a conversation with my booty. It was a whole fucking thing. Like, I don't even, it was a whole fucking situation. It was a whole situation. Every day I came home, he beat me home. And every day he met me on the other side of that door. Conversation with my booty every day. The power of the WAP. A good scalp massage my man has locks, and so he be understanding. I'd be sitting on the couch doing this thing, and then he'll get his big old hands and he'll just start rubbing my head, and sometimes I drift off. The other night I had a booty rub and I literally fell asleep. It's a relaxing, energetic exchange, and the endorphins from spooning can be the same thing from like massaging someone that you love. So like you can get very, very comfortable and just fall into like a deep comfort. I love it. It's real. It's real around these parts. It is really real. Listen, the booty is tapped at every site, okay? Don't have to ask for a booty rub, but if I ask for a booty rub, it's because I need your attention right now, and I need you to get me out of my masculine because I've been working or I've been leading or I've been doing something. So yes, 100% to this. Booty gets tapped every day, all day. If he's around and my booty is there, I agree. Tap all day. Walking up our stairs. Sometimes I like trying to walk on the side of him. He'll grip my ass and scoop me up. It's a whole thing. It's funny. We have fun together. Nope, can't resist. Cannot resist. So we still haven't decided who has more power, the masculine, that WAP, that yang, or the feminine. Who? I don't know. It's just something about the divine feminine that brings the larger picture to view for the masculine, I feel. And I feel like that is definitely something that is overlooked and not really taken into consideration. And oftentimes we have the ability to be convincing and what we like to call planting seeds. That's something that is not really foreign, but not really also talked about, right? Like as a woman, do you plant seeds? Oya Petu, do you plant seeds in your husband's head? Like for things, conversations, results, ideas. What's it like? Like you planting seeds? Mm-mm-mm. All right, y'all. So it's about 8:47 my time. And I think it's time for us to do a divination. I'm wearing a little bodysuit and I have a few of these. This one is long sleeve and long legged and it is chakras all over. But I have a couple other ones that are short. Throw those on and just walk around for 2 seconds. That's what I do. Or I have a satin robe. Wear a satin robe. A lot. Yes. So, as a divine feminine, I mean we're receivers. We receive. we receive. And the divine masculine, they give. And what they give, we plant and nourish and breed. We're the creators of humanity. And I'm not gonna front, there are some Black men in this world who definitely believe the Black woman is God, who definitely hold Black women in high regard. There are some men out there. There are some. There are quite a bit, probably more than we actually know or encounter here in this country. But they're there. And they know the essence of a woman, of a queen, of a goddess, of a Black woman, right? We are all of those things. And so there are some divine masculine who refuse to live in this world without having a divine feminine at his side or two. Right? Like that's just the reality of it. The good ones, there's not a lot of the good ones. So I will say that there are some divine masculine men in our world and in this country even who definitely have and hold the divine feminine in high regard. And that is facts. Let me ask a question real quick. What about Dr. Umar and Suki? What is that dynamic like? What you think is going on there? Do you think Dr. Umar got in her ear with his divine masculine talk and was doing all that good? You a goddess, you this, you that. Let me show you how to twerk your energy a little bit different. Or do you think she was twerking on a handstand and hypnotized them? Which I think it was. And there may not actually be anything going on between them, to be honest. But the dynamic is very interesting. And if it was something real, I don't know that I would be against it. Talk to me in the chat. I'm going to get ready to do this divination. We have some questions. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know some ladies of the night, but they run businesses during the day. And you would never know. I think it's cute and unique, to be honest. I'm not hating, I'm not mad. I feel like it's a good combination. And that combination just alone itself, just the thought of those two coming together is a huge power dynamic. Mm-hmm. The energy of it all. It's the energy for me. That's what it is. For me, it's the energy. I am fucking done. He needed a special experience, Agbe. Okay, special experience it is. That is the reason. Oh my goodness. All right, y'all, let's do this divination. What question are we asking tonight about the divine masculine and the divine feminine? How do we come into balance? Is that the question? I'm gonna put my screen. I'm gonna change my screen in just a second. What question are we asking tonight? Thank you, Egg Bay. Like, share, subscribe to the Orisha Hoodoo Institute YouTube channel, to Divine Feminine Alchemy with Olaia Ifeshebi. Mwah. All right, I'm going to do a divination. I think I'm just going to ask. One second. What are the steps to having more balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine? Y'all can see this. All right, so off top, what we got Fishbone up here off the board, not counting. We have Thimble up here, not counting, both feminine energy representations. But what I'm focusing on right here is I got this mermaid inside the skull upside down. Now, right next to our throat. What I'm hearing right here for there to be balance between the masculine and the feminine, the bashing of the divine feminine with the mermaid inside the skull, the bashing of the divine feminine needs to end. We need to stop trying to rid our world and our existence, like stop trying to erase Black women and bashing us. Let's have some conversations, like literally let's have a conversation and find some common ground on this Black family structure position, right? Like bringing balance back into the Black community for the divine masculine and the divine feminine. This needs to stop. Literally. We need some strength brought back within that dynamic of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And there obviously needs to be some protection work because there's been an obvious and clear divide that we know, right? It may not be spoken about, but we know that it's happened. And this right here is a clear cord. So we need to amplify the protection work and bring back the strength of the balance within the divine masculine and the divine feminine so that we can have harmony, especially within the Black community specifically. We're talking about Black folks right now, specifically. And although we can't get the things, right? And there's a lot of things that are hidden and unexplored. But the most important part of this message is that we have to stop bashing one another, the divine feminine trying to kill us off. Like that has to stop. And we have to meet in the middle, find some protection and amplify that to bring back the strength of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. We're already put up against each other. We already have these high ass expectations that are expected of us, both the masculine and the feminine, right? On all levels, high ass expectations. We need to band together. But in order to do that, the bashing has to stop. It has to. There needs to be some clear dialogue and communication. Can you hear now? I just seen your message and I just been going in. So I'm sorry. I don't know. Having it's so goons day. Goonye. Also not to mention down here, there's a lot of work that needs to be done with the ancestors for the transition of our hearts and how we carry ourselves and where we really place the value of the divine masculine or where we place the value of the divine feminine. Like that is definitely something that has to be taken into account and is one of the steps that I'm seeing here. Off the board, we also have this pyrite over here. And stop being boo boo the fool. Stop falling for all the things. Like that message is coming out a lot lately for me when I'm doing specific readings around like the Black community and bringing balance. Like that is a real thing. Stop falling for the fucking hype. For real, for real. Like legitimately. This is a rose quartz right here. It's a rose quartz star. You can't really tell or see, but it is a rose quartz. So, and this is in between our Baba side and our ancestor side. So adding some and pulling the love and the strength, I would say, to the work and the conversations that need to happen for the protection to strengthen these unions. We can bring balance. So in order for there to be balance, we need the bashing of the Black women to stop. Stop trying to kill off the Black women. We need to have common ground and communication and come together to do this protection work to strengthen our unions. What's done is done. And then also this heart chakra is calling out to me, heart chakra work, like opening up our chakras, opening up our heart chakra during the transition. But it definitely is possible and can happen. Got the cowrie shell here, right side up. So with communication, it's definitely possible. Okay. Is there any questions? Because I know there is some audio stuff going on. But really quick, the question that I basically asked is, what are the steps to bring balance for the divine masculine and the divine feminine, like the divine feminine, specifically speaking for the Black community, right? Off top, it was this mermaid inside the skull head, and the skull head is upside down. So some of my egg bays who are on this call understand and know the significance of certain things being upside down and intertwined with one another. But right on top of that is our neck bone, right? And a lot of times we don't really consider that our head doesn't really function without our neck. And a lot of times the divine masculine is only thinking with their little head, right? They're not really thinking with their big head. And a lot of bashing happens, and a lot of I'm entitled to this, and a lot of toxicity happens. So it pulls us apart to where we're able to be put up against each other. And this is basically saying that bashing needs to stop, trying to kill us off needs to stop. And we need to pick up arms again and be protective of what's ours to re-strengthen that bond, that protection between the divine feminine and divine masculine. What's done is done, literally. And transition is definitely going to happen. Hard work has to happen, and it has to come. It has to be brought forth. And I will say though, you know, outside of this, the heart, the emotion, the communication piece, what I'm getting is that sometimes our men are not communicating with us because we don't receive those messages so easily. We don't receive them so well. And oftentimes the delivery of the message isn't received because the deliverance isn't what we want or what we expect. But as the divine feminine, we are able to position ourselves to step outside of ourselves and receive that message without interference, without judgment, right? We're able to do those things. And oftentimes it won't seem like, oh, you really didn't do no reflection. Absolutely I did. I'm a fucking priestess. Don't judge me. Like, don't sit here and don't do that. I have all the abilities, right? I'm a master number 2. I have all the abilities. So I'm able to step outside of myself in certain situations where I'm possibly very, quite frankly, wrong. Okay. And really take a step back and look at the situation. In order for the good communication to happen, all parties have to be willing to do these parts. How's that feeling in the chat? Talk to me in the chat. What are y'all feeling about that? Getting hot over here, y'all. Sorry. This is my broom. I don't have a fan, but it's really getting hot over here. Woo. Talk to me in the chat. What y'all feel about that divination? Bringing balance to the divine masculine and the divine feminine. I think it's totally possible, though, to be honest. That goes without saying for me. Talk to me in the chat. Mm-hmm. That feels good to me. What are y'all feeling? What are y'all feeling? Talk to me in the chat. Let me know. This fishbone up here is just like, hell no. This is my bone. Spine. Ori up top, off the board, up top. Gotta build some backbone to have these conversations, the hard ones. It's okay. Oh, Red Sonic. This is a no kids zone. This is a no Red Sonic zone tonight, boo. Love you. For sure. I really think that's possible, though. I think it's possible for there to be way more balance within the divine feminine and masculine, especially within the Black community. And I really believe that we can, make a way and find a way for us to come together and have the hard conversations without killing each other or erasing each other or belittling each other or talking mess about each other, which is going to happen. But we both have a divine power, and together that power is really quite amazing. So being able to bring balance into the picture does so many things. Unstoppable force. How y'all feel? I'm hot. I'm a little bit hot over here. It got kind of warm. Like, for real, for real. It really did. This really isn't a fan, so don't judge me. Don't judge. It's warm over here. I want to thank every one of y'all for joining me tonight. My first live. I have a couple announcements before I go, though. Before I go, I have a few announcements. So coming up in September, Larisha Hoodoo Institute, the esteemed Reverend Priestess Oshun Fonke Ianifa, is hosting an Ancestral Water Priest certification September 21st through the 23rd. The Ancestral Water Healer Certification course is an immersive 2-day virtual workshop offering 16 hours of engaging lectures, hands-on labs, and interactive breakout sessions. Discover the profound power of water, which I love me some good water meditations, okay? Learn to harness water for healing yourself, your family, your clients, what have you. You'll also learn mastering the art of performing powerful ancestral rituals, create sacred spaces using water, use water for divination and gaining insights. Water is a conduit. You're going to craft potent potions with water as the key ingredient. So, if you are interested in becoming an ancestral water priest or priestess, I can drop the link so that you all can check it out. I dropped it in the chat. Also, the other announcement, my egg babe, Priestess Omoshule, and I are hosting an ancestral healing retreat in October. The retreat is going to be in Oregon, Mount Hood National Forest. Y'all don't want to miss this retreat. It is a 3-day come and heal with me retreat. We're going to have a private chef. It is going to be very beautiful. So many beautiful things lined up, y'all. Come and check it out. I am getting ready for my man to get home. I'm going to finish my wine and finish getting ready for him to show up for our activities. I'm going to let y'all go. Handle your business for the rest of your evening. I know on the East Coast it's after midnight, so y'all already into the next day. Probably all cozied up, hopefully. If not, do something about it. Do something about it. I am Priestess Olaia Ifa Shaabi. And as I always say, test these waters if you want to. Peace.